Hello everyone, welcome to my new video. In this video I want to show you how I was painting two of my Photoshop drawings. And also this is art vlog, so after I show you this I show you what I've been working on. So let me show you how I was painting it. These Photoshop drawings are based on my photos. Since I'm someone who's following many artists on different platforms, I often see landscapes and environment art created by artists who work in industry, in animation studios, and I often see very beautiful landscapes and environments, so I was inspired and wanted to draw something in this style. So I'm someone who started my art journey from painting watercolor, then I was trying digital art, and then I was painting with oil paints, and also digital art. So I'm someone who started my art journey as an artist from traditional media. And this is why when I paint, it's easy for me to paint like in fine art style. I'm someone who always had bold brush strokes. When I was painting in Photoshop, I was still trying to mimic this style of painting until I realized that I can just use lasso tool and many different brushes that would create a beautiful realistic effect, and that I don't need soft brushes to make my painting to look realistic. I saw many artists who were using lasso tool and making stunning landscapes and environment art and concept art. So at that time I started to try to do that too, and at that time I realized that for me it was very difficult to switch from traditional style of painting. You have to be perfect at draftsmanship and drawing, while my strengths were being good at painting. So when I was making these drawings, it was difficult. The first drawing that you see, it was not difficult painting, but the other painting, this with the fence and the building and for these flowers, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce the name of these yellow flowers, it was much more difficult, because if I use lasso tool, I cannot make my fence look uneven and not have this strict draftsmanship. So if I would fail at it, it won't look painterly, it would look wrong and it would look like a mistake on a drawing. So I was very focused when I was making these drawings, and I want to share that I'm happy that I think I'm able to transition from this brushwork to more precise digital drawing. I thought that I'm someone who won't be able to learn how to do that, but I see the improvement, and I think if I would still try to paint in this style, my paintings would look better and better. So I'm glad that even though this was difficult and I was frustrated at the beginning of this transition, I'm still glad that I'm painting in this style. And you know, I often see that artists say things like you should choose how you want to paint and paint in this style and progress in this style. I realize that I don't like to progress only in one style. I like to switch styles. I like to use different media and to be able to mimic different styles. And I can explain why I prefer that way. When you create painting from imagination, you always have the idea about how you want to influence people who will see your artwork, what feelings they would feel when they look at your artwork. If you are able to paint in different art styles, you have much more opportunities to make the specific painting that you want to make. I know this sounds a little silly, but I'll try to explain. For example, if you want to have the sense of the movement, and if you want to express deep feelings and emotions, then bold brushwork is a perfect tool for making your drawing, your painting look emotional. But that's not always the case. some people would prefer to paint in only one style, but what if you want to paint a serene landscape with lighthouse and rocks at the shore of the sea, and you want to create this precise drawing with the serene feelings? You still can paint a good painting, but if your idea is not suitable for the art style you paint in, then I think this is good if you can paint in different art styles. This is why I prefer to paint with different materials and in different apps. This way I can expand my opportunities and I can make more drawings and more different drawings from each other. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I know that people may disagree with me. So yeah, that's my Photoshop paintings. I noticed that I spend much more time in making these drawings in Photoshop compared, for example, if I need to paint an oil painting. I paint oil paintings much quicker than I make these drawings in Photoshop, because I'm much more focused and I'm trying to make the fence or building look perfect with, so I would not have mistakes with draftsmanship and perspective. By the way, after painting in Photoshop, my eyes are usually bright red because of my effort and my and because I focus so much on the painting that my eyes become really dry. And now let's talk about what I've been doing recently. Yesterday I posted a video about how I'm making my plasticine sculptures. So today I buried my plasticine sculptures and I want to show you what I'm talking about. So if we go here you can see the mess that I'm working with. Welcome to my workspace. This is where I'm trying to make my sculptures. So I told you that I buried my plasticine sculptures yesterday, so this is what I'm talking about. Here you can see the hair that's in my silicone mold, and here where you can read the sign Холодец is another silicone mold, and there is my hedgehog and magpie. I'm trying to make a silicone mold for my, because I want to make plaster sculptures like this, but this is messy plasticine sculpture, and I will make good plasticine sculptures. So you may ask me, what is this all mess about? And I want to explain to you. I was trying to make a silicone mold, and I'm thinking that I would have two parts of the one whole sculpture. So I did stupid thing, made this silicone mold, and then what I did, I was trying to make another silicone mold, another half of the silicone mold for the sculpture, and as you can see, this is not right. First I was trying to make to use this silicone mold, and this is meet my half of hair. Right now he looks like a hamster because sculpture lost its ears. You can see the ear of the hair because it didn't survive, because I didn't make a proper silicone mold. So when this happened, I was trying to make other half of the silicone mold, and I was trying to combine two parts of the of the same sculpture, and here you can see this abomination. You know, like, you can ask me what just happened here. This was my experiment. I've never done plaster sculpture before using two parts of the silicone mold. And if you look at this, this is not even, look at this. I'm just like, what the fuck did I just commit? So this is why I have my hair buried in silicone again, and I'm trying to make another silicone mold. Oh, this is difficult to explain, but I hope that this will work. And you know, sometimes when I create things like that, I have a question for myself, like, am I dumb? And there were times when I was a little obsessed with this question, and I was trying to measure my intelligence by using IQ test. To my surprise, my IQ test showed me that I have IQ of 130. And you know, it was very flattering. I was like, I'm not dumb after all. But then I make something like that, and I start having doubts about my about my mind, because what is that? Yeah. Or maybe just sculpting is not for me. And yeah, I know if someone would say something like, but IQ test is not a proper measure for your intelligence and blah blah blah. It just show you how good you are at pattern recognition and how good you are at just solving the puzzles at the IQ test. And yeah, I know that probably I'm just good at the solving these puzzles and other bullshit, but I mean, yeah, rest in pieces my attempt number 2. I need to wait for tomorrow, and I hope that my silicone mold would be fine and I didn't ruin my plasticine sculptures. So yeah, as you can see, my projects are in progress. And you know what the most annoying thing about sculpting is that how much time you spend on just waiting. For example, I have my silicone mold and I need to wait 24 hours for it to dry. And then you need to make plasticine sculptures. Again, you need to wait when the plasticine sculpture would dry. It takes so much time, and this is a little annoying. That was my project. And also I want to show you another thing. Here you can see my English-Russian dictionary that helping me to hope to have this box closed, because this is some of you might think, oh no, this is white powder, call the police. No, this is powder plaster. I spent so much powder plaster on my many attempts, but I still have many powder left. So I hope that I'll still be able to make good sculpture. All people should be scared of those who buy, I don't know, white powder. And I just want to tell that they should be scared of those who buy plaster powder and silicone mold, because these people are definitely obsessed junkies, because first time you create one sculpture and you getting obsessed with it, and maybe you ruined it and you try to make another sculpture and you ruin it again and again, and you spend tons of money on this white powder until you create a perfect sculpture. So yeah, artists and sculptors are the most obsessive and the most dangerous people, because they buy so much art materials and spend so much money on art materials and hope that the next project will somehow work out. So yeah, we are just dreamers. We will keep ruining everything and keep dreaming that the next sculpture, the next painting will be perfect. So we'll see. You'll see in the next videos if I'll somehow still be able to make a good sculpture. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next videos. Wish me luck with my projects, and I wish you luck with your projects. Bye.